93 games later, we have arrived at the final day of the 2022 regular season, and the Otters still have a lot on the line. A good afternoon to you, and welcome into Florence, Kentucky, where the Otters are set to play a doubleheader here with the Florence Y'alls. After last night's game was postponed due to inclement weather, there's still a lot on the line for the Otters. If they can win both games and ask for a Joliet win tonight against Schaumburg, they would host Tuesday night's wild card game, and in the grand scheme of things, dramatically increase the chance that things can go their way on Tuesday night. This is a team that's struggled on the road all season long, and it might favor them to get to play that game not only at home but in front of all of you, their wonderful fans. But first of all, they've got to get through a couple of games here today, and that still looks like it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. We will surely start this game on time, and we'll surely work through it at least for the first hour or so. Then it looks like there is chances of rain throughout the afternoon into the evening. It's a very good chance we could be here for some time this evening to try to finish these games up and for Evansville, help them clinch their ticket to Tuesday night's home game as opposed to a road game in that first game of the wild card. We'll talk more about that throughout the games, keep you updated with what's going on throughout the league. And we've got first pitch coming at you next here on the Otters Digital Network between the Florence Y'alls and the Evansville Otters. Don't go anywhere. First pitch is next. Well, when you start this 96-game schedule all the way back in May, you hope that on the final day of the regular season, you've still got something to play for, and the Otters sure do. A sweep of today's doubleheader and a loss from Schaumburg gives Evansville home field advantage for the one-game wildcard that is set to take place on Tuesday night. We'll have a pair of 7-inning games for you here on the Otters Digital Network. Keep in mind, we will finish this game. There'll be about a 30-minute break between the two. At that point, the stream will restart. We'll get a new stream going for the second game, so just keep that in mind. I'll remind you later in the game as well. The man on the mound for the Florence Eagles here in Game 1 of our doubleheader is Jeremy Ovalle. 0-6 this year in his 9 starts with a 6.02 ERA. Looking to find himself into the win column. Set to kick off our Game 1 of our doubleheader will be Miles Gordon, the center fielder. And at 1:07 p.m., we are underway from Florence, Kentucky with a high ball 1 to Miles Gordon. Again, last night's game postponed due to inclement weather, so that's what has forced the hand of the doubleheader today. And these are certainly important games for the Otters due to the loss from Schaumburg last night. Gordon, Davis, Bierman set to kick off the at-bats for Evansville here in Game 1. 2-0 home. The half swing, doesn't matter, it's a called strike 1 for Miles Gordon. In case you missed it on Friday night, Evansville punched their ticket to the postseason with a win here in Florence and a loss from Lake Erie. And now for the second time this weekend, they are going to ask for some help from some friends around the league, this time from the hands of the Joliet Slammers. Ball stayed inside for ball 3, and with it, Miles Gordon takes a 3-1 lead in the count. Ovalle fires home. This one's grounded to the right side to the first baseman, Price. He'll underhand it to Ovalle at first, and that's good for out number 1. Want to walk you through the defensive alignment for the Florence Eagles today. They're going to run with Zuber, Johnson, Tinney, left to right across the outfield. In the infield, it's Bryant at third, Chavez at short, Stern at second, and Price at first. Manning the plate is Cooper Edwards. J.R. Davis making his way to the plate now. First pitch home. Misses low and a little outside as well for ball 1 on J.R. Davis. Davis hit the 500 career hit milestone earlier this week at Washington. Davis had the count after another ball high. Count now at 2-1. The 2-0 stays well inside, and J.R. Davis has himself a 3-ball, no-strike lead in the count. And the pressure's on a 3-0. Ovalle's able to find the zone just above the knees for a called strike 1. Ovalle set to go on the 3-1 home. That one will miss low, and J.R. Davis is going to get himself a 1-out walk to be the first base runner of this ballgame. That'll bring up the first opportunity for the first baseman, Zach Bierman. Bierman with an early chance in this ballgame to extend a first inning for the Otters. Ovalle takes a couple extra seconds to get set prior to the first pitch home to Bierman. On the way now, a half swing. Did he go around? They say no, he did not. And Bierman will stay alive at 1-0. One ball, no strikes for the first baseman, Bierman. Man on first, 1 out. Offering home is crushed out towards right field. Chasing back is Tinney towards the warning track. He's got a play on it, and he brings it in for out number 2. You can just add that to the long list of opportunities in this last week and a half, 2 weeks, that Zach Bierman has made really solid contact, but just put a ball in the wrong place and fly it out. So that'll bring up Elijah Mcnamee. Still a man at first, now with 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. Elijah Mcnamee just passed the 200-game milestone a couple weeks ago at Washington. Spin it all. Has a called strike 1 to kick off his at-bat. Mcnamee taking his time in there. Former Mississippi State man. 0-1 is sent zooming down the left field line, and in the fair territory, it's going to roll all the way to the corner. Davis is going to run around third. He's coming home. There's going to be a no relay, and the Otters score on an RBI double from Elijah Mcnamee, and just like that, it's Evansville 1, Florence 0 here in the top half of the first. Well, Mcnamee could not have put that down the left field line any closer. Not only did it go perfectly down the line, but then it snuck past the wall in deep left field, and because of that, it allowed Davis to come all the way around third and score. The perfect start for Evansville. After big hit Mac delivers here in the first inning. So that'll bring up Tanner Craig, the former University of Evansville man. Mcnamee gets a good jump towards third, and he's got a very easy stolen base. Didn't even have to slide as there was no throw. Tanner Craig, most known for his home run ability there at the University of Evansville, the home run king, as he holds the career home run record there. 0-1 towards him. He sends one towards the shortstop Chavez. He plays it into the glove across the diamond to first, and that's in time for out number 3, but not before Elijah Mcnamee gives the Otters the lead with an RBI double. We are on our way to the home half of the first. It's Evansville 1, Florence coming to bat. Well, the Otters have been killed by first inning runs here in the last couple of weeks, and they say, you know what? Best way to fight fire is with fire, and they score one of their own on a Elijah Mcnamee RBI double in the top half of the first, and it sets the table nicely for tonight's starting pitcher, Ryan O'Reilly, getting the nod for Evansville. He was not originally planned on pitching in this series. It kind of looked like he might be the Tuesday night playoff game potential starter, but now he's going to get an opportunity here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Sounds like it's going to be Tyler Spring who goes in game 2 for Evansville. A couple of men with some good opportunities. The big thing for Ryan O'Reilly, this season is he has struggled with walks here and there. They have worked the pitch count up quickly for him, and if he can avoid that, he usually keeps himself in good standing. His last start came there against Washington earlier this week, where he gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits in 5 innings, but prior to that, he had 2 consecutive starts with no earned runs. So that's certainly the plan for him, is to keep that solid record intact, and he starts off this half inning attacking the zone with a called strike 1 on Craig Massey, the designated hitter for game 1. High and outside pitch will even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Count even at 1-1 for Massey. Really choked up on the bat there. And he fouls one back into the netting to take our count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. There has been just one opportunity that Ryan O'Reilly has seen this Florence team. Came at home back there at Bosse Field. 6 earned runs on 6 hits and 3 1/3. It was a tough day for O'Reilly. By the way, it is Brody Tanksley behind the plate, and as a battery, Ryan O'Reilly and Brody Tanksley have a 1-1 record, and in 17 innings pitched, they've given up 3 earned runs, 9 total runs on 16 hits. Good for 9 strikeouts in there as well. Three balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Craig Massey. Ryan O'Reilly trying to kick off the game with an out. It's foul tipped back towards Tanksley, but he can't squeeze onto it. And we will see the at-bat extend at least 1 more pitch. Was supposed to be Justin Watland in game 1, or I guess game 2, if you will, of this series. He warmed up last night. They opted to switch away from Watland. Part of me thinks that could be to potentially use Watland on Tuesday night now against Schaumburg. 3-2 home. This one sent out towards left center. It's down for extra bases. Massey hustling around first. He's halfway towards second. He'll be in with a stand-up double to lead off the game for Florence. So that will now bring up the shortstop, Alberti Chavez. Some extra time taken out there to make sure Massey's all right. He looked a little bit labored running out towards second. It looks like everything is all right. So with a man at second, nobody out, Alberti Chavez at the plate. O'Reilly with a glance out towards second and the first pitch home. Attacks the zone, gets a called strike 1 to kick things off. Otters in their primary blues. They've got the gray bottoms as they are on the road, and up top it's the all blue caps with the gray bills. As for the Alls, it's all white today. White tops, white bottoms, red caps. 0-1 home from O'Reilly. Swinging strike 2 is foul tipped into the glove of Tanksley. Oh-2 count. O'Reilly looking to grab an out here. 0-2 home to the shortstop, Chavez. This one's fouled back into the netting off the handle of the bat. And Chavez will live to see another pitch. 0-2 count. As Ryan O'Reilly's trying to grab himself an out here in the first. An 0-2 home. This one sent right back up the middle. It's through for a base hit. They're going to hold the man at third. And there are runners at the corners now with nobody out here in the bottom of the first for Florence. Evansville threatening to give up that lead they got in the top half of the first. So some work to do. For Ryan O'Reilly here in the bottom of the first, as the most dangerous y'all heads to the plate now, Brendan Price. First pitch home to Brendan Price. Stays high and maybe away a little bit for ball one. Men at the corners with nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning. O'Reilly fires home on the 1-0. Price grounds it to the right side into the glove of Bierman. He goes to second for one. The relay back over to first is in time. And a 3-6-3 double play will score a run. And we are evened at 1 run apiece. Yeah, that's probably best case scenario for the Otters. They give up the run, yes, but they do grab 2 outs in the process. Most importantly, it was an out against Brendan Price. So that brings up Taylor Bryant. He takes a called strike 1. Bryant has been the infield coach this year for the Y'alls and was signed for the last 2 games of this season. First pitch home to him. Or the second pitch, sorry, stays high and in. Bryant's ahead in the count 2-0. Count home. This one sent out towards left. Davis working back towards the wall. Gone. Taylor Bryant, the infield coach for the Y'alls all season, who was signed for these last 2 games, crushes the ball out to left and the Y'alls lead. And the Y'alls dugout absolutely loves it. Well, Evansville did their job in the first inning, got themselves a lead. But now, due to a early couple of hits, the Y'alls have taken the lead, and now a home run doesn't help it. Ray Zuber at the plate takes the ball inside, low and inside for ball 1. Doing a walk you through the Otters defensively out there. It's J.R. Davis in left, Miles Gordon in center, Brian Rosario in right. Across the infield, Tanner Craig at third, George Khalil at short, Andy Armstrong at second, Bierman at first. Now a ball crushed out towards right. Rosario towards the wall. Gone! Back-to-back solo shots from the Y'alls, and they now lead 3-1. Taylor Bryant and Ray Zuber go back-to-back with solo shots. And now that double play the Otters got is ever more important. But Evansville does trail in this one 3-1 now. So in the span of 3 pitches, the Y'alls leave the yard twice. First pitch home to Stern. Stays outside ball 1. One ball, no strikes. As the ball comes home from O'Reilly, it stays in the zone on the high side for a called strike 1, and we're even up at 1-1. Evansville knew the job they needed to get done today, and it's just become a little bit harder here in the first inning. 1-1 home, stays low for ball 2. Of course, there's a very good shot that both of these games would be done before Schaumburg even begins tonight, as they are set for a much later first pitch there in Joliet. To be exact, they're supposed to start at 6 o'clock Central. So the Otters and y'all's, unless rain sets in, should be done before that game even starts. So if Evansville can win both, they still have to wait to see their fate till tonight. 2-2 home. This one's bouncing towards Armstrong at second. He charges in. The throw to first is going to be close. Not in time. And Stern will have himself an infield single. Every y'all has reached so far outside of Brendan Price, who brought in a run with a double play. So that'll bring in Axel Johnson, the center fielder for this game. Again, a reminder, this is only a 7-inning contest. Both games of the doubleheader, 7 innings. Axel Johnson waiting for his first pitch. There's a man at first and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. First pitch home to Johnson. Stays high and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 home. Stays outside for ball 2 now. Final day of the 2022 regular season. Otters need 2 wins. They're going to have to do some extra work here in game 1. Foul tip into the glove of Tanksley is good for strike 1. Takes our count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike to Axel Johnson here with 2 outs and a man at first. It's weakly grounded right back up the middle. O'Reilly picks it up. His throw to first is offline, and it'll get past Bierman. And there are now runners at first and third after the error. And now another man reaches for Florence. Otters used a RBI double from Elijah Mcnamee in the first inning, bringing home J.R. Davis to take a 1-0 lead. And then after back-to-back men reached to start the inning for Florence, a man scored on a double play. Back-to-back solo home runs have now given Florence the 3-1 lead. And with 2 outs, they now have men at first and third after Ryan O'Reilly's error. Cooper Edwards at the plate now. First pitch to him is high and in for ball 1. Edwards, the 8th yawl to the plate here in the first. The 1-0 home. That's good for a called strike. Couple of men up in the Otters bullpen, but nobody throwing right now. 1-1 home to Cooper Edwards. Stays high for ball 2. Defense with a slight shift to the left side for Edwards, as there's men at first and third with 2 outs. 2-1 home. Stays high and out for ball 3. And O'Reilly's going to have to find the zone to avoid loading the bases. And the pitch comes way inside and actually hits Edwards, so the bases are going to be loaded. It's now Stern at third, Johnson at second, Edwards at first. And now it looks like we're going to see Max Peterson go out and have a chat with his pitcher. as the 9th Y'all comes to the plate here in the first inning. The one thing that's for certain is if the Otters fall in this first game, it makes the second game really mean nothing, as the Otters needed to win both today in order to still be in contention to host on Tuesday night. So a little bit of a wait for Tinney to walk up now. First ball stays high for ball one. One ball, no strikes. This one's driven out towards left and into the glove of J.R. Davis. The first inning comes to an end, but not before the Y'alls grab 3 runs, and they now lead this one 3-1 in game 1 of our doubleheader. Well, the Otters got the start they were looking for offensively, grabbed a run in the top half of the first, but a rough bottom half has given Florence a 3-1 lead, highlighted by back-to-back solo home runs, and the Otters offense now has the pressure surely on. Due up to kick off the inning for Evansville, Andy Armstrong, the second baseman. He'll be followed by George Khalil and Brody Tanksley. First offering to Armstrong in there for a called strike one. The Y'alls defense playing deep in normal positioning as an 0-1 finds the zone yet again, quickly taking our count to 0-2. The 0-2 home. Swinging strike 3. Armstrong chases that one well out of the zone. And it's 1 up, 1 down here in the second inning. First strikeout of the day for Ovalle. So the shortstop now heads to the plate. George Khalil on Friday night had the first 3-hit performance of his entire career And he got to help celebrate that later that night as the Otters clinched their spot in the postseason as well. First pitch home, in there for a called strike one. Oh, 1 for Khalil. That's off the handle of the bat and back into the netting. And he quickly falls back in the count 0-2. What a great find for this Otters squad. Though his offense has been spotty, George Khalil has been surely one of, if not the best, shortstop in this league defensively. A swinging strike three up high is good for back-to-back strikeouts for Ovalle. So quickly 2 outs, and Brody Tanksley heads to the plate. Tanksley making his first appearance of this weekend set. First pitch misses high for ball 1. And to find the last time Tanksley appeared, you have to go back to that middle game at Washington. He started the game with a 2-hit performance, went 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout, but then he was replaced in the 9th inning by Felix. Felix came in to pinch hit. The Otters ended up losing that game 3-2. 1-1 home, swinging strike 2, and dropped back Tanksley to 1-2, and now Ovalle has a shot to end the inning with 3 straight strikeouts. 1-2 home. This one's lifted high and foul down the right field line, and will get out of play. Will end up carrying way out of the ballpark. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitcher home, and it's a swinging strike 3. Ovalle strikes out the side here in the top half of the second. We head to the bottom half. Evansville trailing by 2. Bottom half of the second inning, and we are ready to kick off the second time through the lineup already for Florence as they bat around in the first inning. We have a pinch hitter to start off the second, as well as instead of Craig Massey, the other catcher, Luke Harper, will step in. First opportunity comes in for ball one on the inside for Luke Harper. Massey doubled in his at-bat, but did look a little bit labored going out towards second. 1-0 stays low and out for ball two now. Again, if the Otters lose either of these two games Tuesday night, wildcard game takes place at Schaumburg in a one-game winner-take-all chance to go play Washington in the Division Championship Series. And that Division Championship Series has been altered a little bit to help scheduling accommodations in Washington. Now a Friday game that will be hosted by either Washington or Evansville. And then game 2 and then 3, if necessary, would be Sunday and Monday at Wild Things Park in Washington next week. 3-1 home to Luke Harper. Half swing, but it finds the zone for a called strike 2. Three-two home. That misses high and away, and Ryan O'Reilly has walked his first batter of the day. Leadoff man on for the second straight inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop Alberti Chavez. Again, there's a lot of question marks in the air for Evansville. Even if they won both of these games, they have to wait until probably 9 o'clock-ish tonight, because the game between Schaumburg and Joliet is not set to start until 6 p.m. Central. So it's very possible not only could the Otters be done, they could be all the way home this evening and still not know if they're hosting or not, if they can win both of these games. Going to throw over and check on Harper, who is back in time. Step one, though, for Evansville has to be do our job here in this one and make sure we at least win the two games. First pitch to Chavez, swinging strike one. He's way ahead of that first pitch. Oh, 1 count for Alberti Chavez. Man at first, nobody out. Pitch comes home for a called strike 2 just under the elbows, and I think Chavez knew right away that was a pitch he should have taken his chance on. Oh, 2 the count for Chavez. Another really good defensive shortstop in this league. The 0-2 home to Chavez. Low and outside, ball 1. Man at first is Luke Harper. He checked in here in this inning as a pinch hitter after Massey looked a little bit labored running out towards second in his opening at-bat. Otters in double play positioning here with a 1-2 pitch to Chavez with man on first and nobody out in the bottom of the second. The throw over to first is close, but not in time. One ball, 2 strikes. As the pitch comes home, it's grounded to the left side past Tanner Craig, and the inning keeps going with another man on base to start it off. Now men at first and second, still nobody out. Chavez with his second single of the day. Brendan Price with his second chance of the day with nobody out and 2 men on. First pitch home, swinging strike 1. Price nearly falls over with the swing. Really quirked around for that one. 3 of the last 4 games these two squads have played against each other, we've seen Brendan Price go yard in the first inning. Now in the second, Price has a chance to at least bring another RBI in. High outside pitch evens our count at 1 ball, 1 strike. One home. Misses the zone low. The count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. It's high and outside for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. With 2 men on, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Pitch home to Price, and a hefty swinging strike 2 will take his count to full. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch comes home, and it is weakly grounded to the right side. Back into the netting, and the count stays full at 3-2 for Brendan Price. Harper's at second, Chavez at first. Three-two home for Price. It is pushed out towards left. Davis parks underneath it, brings it in for out number 1, and neither runner will be able to advance. So that'll bring up Taylor Bryant, who, after being signed just a couple of days ago, went yard in his first at-bat back with Florence. He's been with the Y'alls all year as an infield coach, but due to some injuries, they needed a man to fill an extra roster spot. His name was called. Right now, his solo home run is the go-ahead run in this game. First pitch home to him. Stays high and outside, ball 1. Harper's at second, Chavez at first. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Y'all's trying to expand their lead. 1-0 works towards the inside now, and Ryan O'Reilly falls back 2-0 in the count. Chance for Evansville potentially, if they can find a way to grab a double play, could end the inning. 2-0 home to Taylor Bryant. In there for a called strike just under the elbows. Again, with a loss in either one of these games, Evansville would be playing at Schaumburg. But the Otters have had some success up there near the Windy City this year. Those are two teams who have played tough games against each other all year. 2-1 stays low and outside. And Bryant takes a 3-1 lead in the counts. Y'all's lead 3-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. And a 3-1 count to Taylor Bryant. Here with 1 out, men at first and second is on the way. It's cranked out towards center. Gordon working back towards the warning track. He's underneath it. Brings it in for out number 2. And one man will advance as Harper's able to tag up at second. And with with 2 outs, there's men at the corners with Ray Zuber heading to the plate. Ray Zuber, his last time up, zoomed a home run out to right. O'Reilly getting set for the first pitch to Ray Zuber. It's on the way and low and inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Pitch on the way to Zuber, swinging strike 1. He was way out in front of that pitch. So with the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike, Ray Zuber steps back in. 2 men on, 2 men out here in the second inning. One pitch home. This one sent out towards center. Gordon working back towards the wall. He jumps. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Wonderful catch for Miles Gordon into the fence. Is good for out number 3. Saves some runs. And Evansville will continue to just be down by 2 after 2 innings. Otters back to the plate right after this. (9-1-2) due up for Evansville here in the third inning. Brian Rosario, Miles Gordon, and J.R. Davis. Otters did their job to start this game. Grabbed a run, gave themselves a little bit of cushion going into their first defensive half inning, and then Ryan O'Reilly got hit often, got hit early in that first, gave up 3 runs, and now the Otters have to work from behind to keep their hopes for home field advantage in round 1 alive. First pitch home to Rosario. He shows bunt and sends it almost all the way to the Y'all's dugout as it's an 0-1 count. Rosario leading off the half inning, batting in the 9 spot. The 0-1. Catches the zone on the high inside edge. And drops the count back to 0-2 now for Rosario. Time called by Rosario prior to the 0-2. Unhappy with how much time was taken. Oh, 2 home. This one sent out towards left. It's going to work itself foul and out of play. And a wonderful catch made by a fan out there. Oh, 2 home. Sent over the shortstop's head down into left field for a base hit, and Rosario will kick off this third with a hit. First offering home stays way low and inside for ball 1. Another throw over to first. Rosario back in time. One ball, no strikes for Miles Gordon. Ball stays inside for ball 2 now. Two-0 sent over to first. We're here in the top half of the third inning. Evansville leading off the inning with a single from Brian Rosario, trying to bring themselves closer in this one. And prior to the 2-0 pitch, Gordon had called time. Right before the pitch was fired home, looked as if Gordon had called time. Two balls, no strike. It's foul tipped away to the right side. Two balls, one strike. This one is sent foul back over the top. We'll end up here in the party deck near myself. Miles Gordon looking at a 2-2 offering with nobody out and a man at first. 2-2 home. This one sent down the right field line in a hurry, but it is foul. So the count remains even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes for the center fielder, Miles Gordon. Nobody out, man on first here in the top of the third. 2-2 is sent out towards right field. A diving attempt and a wonderful catch by Tinney out in right field. His throw is offline back towards first, but he certainly saved the Otters a couple extra bases. So that'll bring up J.R. Davis, now with an out. Still a man at first. To anyone that's out there maybe listening to us and also following along with the live stats, we are aware of an issue going on with the live stats right now. It's showing as a final score. It is not. We are still in play. One out, man at first. J.R. Davis now tasked with keeping this inning going. First offering to him is outside for ball one. Davis walked his first time up, came around to score on the RBI double for Mcnamee. East has a similar situation that we do today. New York and Ottawa still unsure who's going to host their wild card game on Tuesday. Another ball outside. Takes the count to 2 balls, no strikes. And as we are getting going, New York and Trois-Rivières already playing. Trois-Rivières has a 2-0 lead on the Boulders. Ottawa does not play till this evening, so they're in a similar situation that the Otters and Boomers are in. Attacking the zone is Ovalle. With it, drives himself a little closer now. 2-1 count for J.R. Davis. Man at first, 1 out. Ovalle fires home. That's good for a called strike. So back-to-back pitches from Ovalle that he's attacked the zone, got called strikes. And Davis has his count evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two home is pushed off foul to the right side. Price will make a run towards it, but it's going to end up 5 or 6 rows up. And out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes. J.R. Davis stepping back in. There goes Rosario. Ball hit hard to the left side. They'll have no play at second, so they'll just have to go across the first for the one sure thing out. And the hit and run plays into the favor of the Otters, as it's a 5-3 fielder's choice that allows Rosario to reach second. So that'll bring Zach Bierman to the plate now. Man at second is Rosario. First pitch home to Zach Bierman. On the way. Stays low, ball 1. Bierman really got a hold of a pitch in his first at-bat, but for a countless time this week, the ball only made it to the warning track out in right field, and it was good for out number 2 of the inning. It was good contact, just not quite driven hard enough. 1-0 home is actually not thrown, as taking a second to reset is Ovalle. One ball, no strikes for Zach Bierman. Way inside, ball 2. Almost got him in the thigh. Defense is playing with a heavy shift to the right side. Two-0 to the plate. Bierman sends this one very high foul, and it does get out of play. Bierman visibly upset after that one. Bierman has put together quite the on-base streak here in the recent couple of weeks, as he has safely reached base in 17 straight games, one shy of his season high. He's did 18 straight games earlier in the year. 2-1 home to Bierman. Taken for a called strike on the outside edge, and he winces after that one. Thought he had an opportunity for that one to be left alone for ball. Rosario with a Good lead out there at second, and now Bierman's going to call time before anything happens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man at second. Otters down by 2. Zach Bierman with a chance to maybe lessen the deficit for right now. 2-2 home. Outside ball 3, and we'll have a full count offering. Three-two to Zach Bierman. Swinging strike 3, and we are on to the bottom half of the third. Evansville still trails by 2. The bottom of the third inning, Evansville with another chance to score in this ball game, but unable to bring Rosario home from second. And because of it, the Otters defense returns to the field, still down by 2. It'll be the 6-7-8 due-up of Ethan Stern, Axel Johnson, and Cooper Edwards here in the bottom half of the third. First pitch home. Left alone for ball 1. One 0 to the plate. Is sent zooming towards Khalil at short. In and out of his glove. He picks it up. The throw to first is going to be close. They got him. Great work from George Khalil to rebound after that ball got out of his glove. Still made a good throw. Bierman made a great dig at first and brought it in for out number 1. Axel Johnson with 1 out, nobody on. First pitch is outside, ball 1. One 0 finds the zone to even our count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. O'Reilly could not purchase an out in that first inning. A double play helped him, and then it just seemed like back to back to back. The Y'alls did good work bringing guys around. As a fly ball sent out towards center field, Gordon working back to the warning track and makes a catch a few steps shy of the wall for out number 2. But that being said, ever since that tough first inning, O'Reilly has seemed to settle in a little bit. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. A chance for O'Reilly to grab his first 3-up, 3-down inning of the day. First pitch home to Edwards is grounded towards Armstrong at second. He'll play over to first in time for out number 3, and the Otters have themselves a 3-up, 3-down inning defensively. We're on to the 4th. Otters trail by 2. Top of the 4th inning here on the Otters Digital Network. Pleased you're joining us on a humid Sunday afternoon from Florence, Kentucky. Still a lot on the line for the Otters. They have to win both games, need a Schaumburg loss tonight. They can host Tuesday night. But, first thing first, the Otters have got to find some run support here in these middle innings, as this is only a 7-inning ball game, so already nearing the halfway point. First pitch home to Elijah Mcnamee to kick off the innings, inside for ball 1. Big hit Mac grabbed a RBI double his first time up, gave the Otters a lead, but it did not last very long. 1-0 finds the zone to even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, we're so blessed to have so many fans from the Mississippi State demographic because of the college ball played by Elijah Mcnamee. 1-1 home, in there for a swinging strike 2. He's known as Big Hit Mac because of that big hit he had in that super regional game, the 3-run home run that helped deliver Mississippi State further in that NCAA tournament. 1-2 to the plate. Swinging strike 3. Mcnamee just a little bit ahead of that one, and that's 5 strikeouts now for Ovalle. Ovalle is currently on his way to potentially grabbing his first win of the season. His offense gave him some run support. He's pitching excellently so far through 3 and some change. With 1 out, nobody on, Brody Tanksley heading to the plate. The Tank went 2 for 3 in his last opportunity back in the middle game of the Washington series. Started off this game grounding in to a fielder's choice. Oh, apologies. I got their numbers switched up. Tanner Craig at the plate right now. Starts off with an 0-1 count. High and outside. Well, even the count up 1 ball, 1 strike. So actually, Tanner Craig at the plate. Him and Brody Tanksley both have a number that starts with 4, so they threw me off as I only saw half the jersey. Ball's zooming down the third base line, just foul. We'll take the count to 1-2 now for Tanner Craig. Craig has not got a ton of chances to show what he's made of quite yet here in his rookie season. Signed out of the University of Evansville, is their home run king there. Hopefully he gets a shot potentially next year on this Otters squad to maybe prove what he's made of a little bit more in the professional baseball world. Takes the ball low and maybe inside a hair as well. With it, the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ovalle has really not been afraid to attack the zone all day so far. The 2-2 home. This one's sent grounding towards the left side. In the glove of Bryant across the first in time for out number 2. So officially 5-3 on the ground out there. And with it, Evansville now down to their last out in the 4th. Two outs, bases empty. Andy Armstrong heading to the plate. Armstrong was guilty of a strikeout his first time up. He was the first one for Ovalle. Chased the ball way outside. He starts off this at bat with a called strike. 0-1, a half swing, and he's quickly down 0-2 now. Count actually at 1-1, as that first pitch was ball, not strike. So apparently we're at a 1-1. Foul tipped ball towards Edwards takes our count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. If Armstrong can find his way on base, George Khalil stands in the on-deck area, ready to swing next. But first, the 1-2 pitch to Armstrong. Low and outside, evens our count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We try again on the 2-2. This one sent sharply to the left side, through for a base hit for Andy Armstrong. And a couple of rows of Otter fans here on the right side of the ballpark gives their applause. So that'll bring up George Khalil now with a man on first and 2 outs. Ovalle ready to fire home the first pitch of the at-bat. It's low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 home stays low, now ball 2. Well, we can promise you that the Otters are going to play postseason baseball on Tuesday night. What we can't promise you is where that game will take place. It'll either be Southwest Indiana or Northeast Illinois. Count goes out to 3-0 now against George Khalil. Three-0 home. Finds the zone for a called strike 1. Khalil was taken the whole way there. Armstrong out there at first, has himself a lead over there. The 3-1, Armstrong goes towards second. Ball's hit towards Chavez at short. His throw over to first is in time for out number 3. And we will head to the bottom half of the 4th. Evansville still trails by a pair. Into the bottom of the fourth inning, Evansville with another chance to potentially make some offense, but are unable to do it. They had a man on with 2 outs, left him stranded out there, and we're on to the home half of the fourth. 9-1-2 due up for Florence, Rodney Tinney, Luke Harper, and Alberti Chavez. First pitch is high and in, and they'll actually say it hit Tinney. And on the very first pitch, Max Peterson's trying to ask exactly what they saw that was a hit by pitch. They're saying that he leaned into it a little bit. But regardless, it's one pitch, one man on after the hit by pitch for Rodney Tinney. And we are back to the top of the order where Luke Harper, who is 0 for 1 on, or 0 on the day technically, as he pinch hit and walked in his first appearance, takes a called strike 1 to start off here. Little update from Trois-Rivières. New York has put up 5 third-inning runs, and they now lead 5-2. The Boulders trying to do the same thing the Otters do and move from third to second and potentially host Tuesday night. In case you were unaware of the playoff picture over there in the East, it is going to be Ottawa and New York facing off in the wild card game with the chance to play Quebec in the divisional championship game. 0-1 home. Throw out looks really good. The tag in time. What a great throw from Brody Tanksley. A lot of teams have tried to run a little bit more on Brody Tanksley, and he absolutely had that throw down to get Tinney on his way. So now there's 1 out and a 1-1 count to Luke Harper. Things a little bit simpler for Ryan O'Reilly now. Ball sent sharply towards the shortstop, and it's past George Khalil into center, and it's a 1-out single for Luke Harper. And the caught stealing now a little bit more important. And for Brody Tanksley, it's the 3rd time he's caught a man stealing this year. In 18 attempts, now his 3rd. So that'll bring Alberti Chavez to the plate. 1 man on, 1 man out. Got to be careful when you've got Ryan O'Reilly on the mound. Numerous occasions this year he's been able to grab pickoff plays over there at first. Ball sent sharply to the left field side is foul, and will be picked up by Davis in left. He'll toss the ball out onto the berm where a kid is running crazy with his new souvenir. O'Reilly leads the team in pickoffs over there at first. He's got 5 on the season. 0-1 home to the shortstop Chavez. Low and outside, great stop by Tanksley to even our count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody warming for Evansville as O'Reilly has started to settle in a little bit better after that tough first inning. One to Chavez. Bounces in again, and another good stop from Tanksley. So O'Reilly waiting before the 2-1 pitch. Chavez ready at the plate. 1 out, 1 on. The 2-1 home. Grounded to the left side over the glove of Craig. Took a big hop on him over there. And there will be men at first and second after back-to-back singles from the Yalls. And now that's caught stealing a little bit of a loss now, as Florence probably could have scored on a play like that. So for the third time today, Brennan Price heads to the plate with 2 men on. Price grounded into a double play the first time, but did score a run. Then he flew out to left his last time up. First pitch home to the first baseman, Brennan Price. Stays low and inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes for Price. O'Reilly taking a couple extra seconds to get prepped prior to the 1-0. Pitch comes home, high outside, ball 2. Again, final day of the 2022 regular season. Otters are extremely thankful that you've taken any amount of time this year to spend it with us. We hope that we get to hang out with you in the playoffs as well. Ball low makes it a 3-0 count now for Price. A 3-0 home to Brennan Price. Way out and low, ball 4. The bases are loaded here with 1 out. Taylor Bryant heads to the plate, but before that, we're going to have a meeting at the mound by Max Peterson. Jacob Bowles is warming for the Otters out in the left field pen. But we will have a meeting of all the minds as the entire infield comes in. Bowles really just now got started with his full warm-ups out there in left. Max Peterson has concluded his chat with his infielders and pitching staff. O'Reilly in a bit of a jam here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Gotta think if Florence scores runs here, they put themselves in a really good position to cruise to victory, as this is only a 7-inning game. Otters don't have as much time to come back. First pitch home to Bryant. Stays low and outside, ball 1. Bryant had a solo home run in his first at-bat of the day. Flew out to center in his last chance. One-0 finds the zone to even the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ryan O'Reilly kicks and delivers. Low outside, a great stop by Tanksley. Surely saved a run there. Harper at third, Chavez at second, Price at first. 1 out with Taylor Bryant at the plate. 2-1 home. Misses high and in for ball 3 now. I see Bowles out there making frequent glances in towards the game. Looks like he could be ready at any time. A 3-1 home to Bryant. High inside, ball 4. A run comes home for free, and the lead grows for Florence. Out comes Max Peterson, and we are going to see a pitching change. As the day will end for Ryan O'Reilly, we'll let you know who's coming in for him, a little more about him in just a second. Otters trying to have some damage limitation now as they trail by 3. Bottom of the 4th inning. And a pitching change needed for the Otters. Ryan O'Reilly's day ends before he hits 4 complete. Jacob Bowles will be needed for the Otters out of the left field pen. This call to the bullpen presented by our friends at Business Communication Solutions. Contact BCS for all your business solution needs. It's Bowles on the mound. Tanksley behind the plate. That pitcher catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road. Give them a call at 812-475-9000. Bowles has appeared in the last 2 games for the Otters, and he's pitched a combined 3 innings, given up 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. No earned runs, though, in those last 2 appearances. Starts off with a called strike on Ray Zuber, who went yard his first time up, a solo home run to right, and then was robbed of a hit by Miles Gordon out there in center his last time up. Gordon had to make a really tough jumping catch into the wall. 0-1 home. Swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And Bowles fires home on the 0-2, well outside for ball 1. Otters defense is at double play positioning, as a double play could end the inning for him. The 1-2 misses on the outside edge, and our count's evened up 2-2. Chavez stands at third, Price at second, Bryant at first. Here with 1 out. 2-2 home. Off the handle of the bat. It's going to get out of play, though, behind home. Ends up on the roof of this ballpark. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Jacob Bowles trying to deliver Evansville from trouble. 2-2 home. This one's sent out towards right center. Long run for Gordon. He makes a catch on the run to grab out number 2. A run will score on the sacrifice fly. From Ray Zuber. Chavez comes home. Price stays at second. Bryant stays at first. The Otters do grab themselves out number 2. So with 2 men on and 2 men out, it brings up Ethan Stern. His first offering stays high and away for ball 1. Stern reached on a single in the first, then reached third on the error by O'Reilly in the next at bat. 1-0 to the plate. Is fouled back behind home towards the netting, and the count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the count's evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike for Ethan Stern. Bowles ready on the mound. Fires home on the 1-1. Swinging strike 2. An important pitch to get there for Bowles. Not a bad crowd on hand today here at Thomas More Stadium. Final game of the season for the Florence Yalls, who are not a playoff team this year after having one of the best records in the league last year. 1-2's outside. Good stop by Tanksley. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Florence kind of got themselves out to a decent start this year, but then towards the middle parts of the year, late June, early July area, is when they really struggled, and because of that, were so far behind it needed too much work for the time they had left to come back in this one. So they'll aim their focus now at 2023. 2-2 home from Bowles. Low and outside, we've got a full count. Ovalle has had a few at-bats that he's fallen back 3-0, worked himself into full counts and got outs. For the Otters, they've started out counts 0-2, 1-2, and then worked them into full counts where they've given up hits or walks. That's the big difference in this game right now. 2 outs, 3-2 home from Stern. It's hit sharply towards Khalil at short. Into the glove, backhanded, over to first in time for out number 3, but not before. 2 more runs score for Florence. We are on our way to the 5th. Evansville now trails by 4. Top of the fifth inning here from Thomas More Stadium in northern Kentucky, Florence, Kentucky to be exact. Evansville now trails by 4. A lot of work to do in these last 3 innings, as this is only a 7-inning ball game due to the doubleheader rules here in the Frontier League. So a lot of work to do now. Brody Tanksley, Brian Rosario, and Miles Gordon are the 3 that will try to get Evansville back into this one here as we start the away half of the 5th. Now it's time for Brody Tanksley's second at-bat of the day. I swapped him and Tanner Craig up earlier. Tanksley struck out in his first at-bat. Tanksley is the one that's coming off a 2-for-3 day at Washington. A couple of singles for him. 0-1, stays outside, and with it, Brody Tanksley's going to see his count even up at a ball and a strike. Warm and humid here from Florence today, following the rain that stayed around a lot of yesterday. Tanksley, hard hit ball over the second baseman's head into center field, and Tanksley will lead off this 5th inning with a single for the Otters. Only the 3rd hit for the Otters all day. Sorry, 4th single of the day. So Brian Rosario now heads to the plate, trying to give Evansville some more hope. First pitch home, a half swing from Rosario. It's a called strike anyway, though. Thought he had kept his swing at bay, but it didn't end up mattering. Ball cranked out towards right by Rosario. Tenney will chase back a few steps and bring it in for the first out of the inning. Some good, solid contact there from Rosario, but it just died on its way out. So back to the top of the order we go. Miles Gordon, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Almost had a single his last time up, but a nice diving play by Tenney and right took it away. First pitch is low for ball 1. One 0 home. Stays low and inside for ball 2 now on Miles Gordon. Gordon grounded out in the first. And then, of course, had that fly out like I just mentioned back in the 3rd. Tanksley with a small lead over at first. 1 out, 1 man on for Evansville. Ball hit hard by Gordon towards second, on second for 1, over to first in time for a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. We are on our way to the home half of the 5th. Evansville still trailing by 4. Bottom of the fifth inning here from Florence, Kentucky. Evansville still trails by 4 in this one. And they head back to the defensive side of the field. Jacob Bowles returns to the mound. And due up in the half inning, Axel Johnson, Cooper Edwards, and Rodney Tenney. First pitch home to Axel Johnson. In there for a called strike one, just under the elbows. Johnson on the day, 0 for 2 officially, reached on an error in the first, and then flew out to center in the third. 0-1's low and outside, and evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Is an arm starting to warm up for Florence in the right field bullpen. Looks like Kent Kleiman out there. One ball, 1 strike, again outside. And the count expands to 2-1. Otters are down to their last 6 offensive outs in this game, by the way. They're going to have to score at least 4 runs to keep their postseason hosting dreams alive. 2-1 home. Swinging strike 2. Johnson. Hefty swing that he was way out in front of. So the count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes for Johnson here to kick off this bottom half of the 5th inning. 2-2 home. Fouled back into the netting. Johnson will live to see another pitch. Most amount of sun we've seen today. Trying to poke through the clouds right now. Does look like we should be able to make it through a doubleheader without rain, at least for the time being. We'll try again on the 2-2 home. Outside for ball 3 now. Counts full for Axel Johnson. Offering home, hit sharply right back up the middle. Through for a base hit. Here to kick off the home half of the 5th. So Johnson has his first base hit of the game. And with it, Cooper Edwards now heads to the plate. Edwards 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch his first time up and then grounded into a routine ground out at second his last time up. First pitch here sent sharply to the right side, through for another base hit. And there are men at first and second after the Yalls kick it off with a couple of singles here in the 5th inning. So Rodney Tenney heading to the plate now with 2 men on and nobody out. That base hit, good for 10 on the day for Florence. First pitch to Tenney, low and inside, ball 1. Tenney's 0 for 1 on the day. A line out to left his first time up. Was then hit by a pitch to lead off the big 4th inning for Florence, though he was caught stealing on his way to second. One-0 comes home. This one sent out towards left. And it's going to drop in front of everybody. And Davis, after he picked up the ball, slipped on the turf over there. And because of it, a man's going to score and everyone will be safe. A blooping single for Tenney. Scores 1 run. And it is now 6-1. Florence leads. Still men at the corners, still nobody out. So that brings up the leadoff man, Luke Harper. He's 1 for 1, a single and a walk since he came in to pinch hit for Massey. First pitch to Harper. High and outside for ball 1. Tenney's at first, Edwards at third. As a 1-0 makes its way to the plate, it's lifted high, foul to the left side. It's going to work itself up onto the berm. And with it, our count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike. One count for Luke Harper. They're going to go check on the runner at first, but Tenney's back in time. One. Misses low for ball 2. Otters needed to win both of their games today in order to still be in a place where they could host Tuesday night. They were going to have to win both, and they were going to have a Schaumburg loss tonight. Ball sit sharply towards Armstrong at second. Second for 1. Over to first. Is in time for a 4-6-3 double play. It is going to score a run. And it's the second RBI double play we've seen today. So that'll bring up Alberti Chavez with 2 outs and a 6-run lead. First opportunity to Chavez. Misses low and inside as well for ball 1. The 1-0 to the plate. That one's good for a called strike, and our count evens. Bulls taking his time prior to the 1-1 offering. This one's lifted out towards shallow right. It's going to drop for a single. Chavez now 4 for 4. And it is now 12 hits for the Florence Yalls today. So with 2 outs and a man at first, Brennan Price heads to the plate. Brennan Price is 0 for 2. Had a double play in the first that scored a run. A fly out to the left. Then walked in the fourth. First pitch to him. Stays inside for a called strike 1. Oh, 1 the count for Brennan Price. Pitch comes home. It's grounded sharply towards Armstrong at second. He plays into the glove over to first for out number 3, but not before. 2 more runs score for Florence. On our way to the 6th, Evansville trails by 6. Top of the 6th inning here from Thomas More Stadium in Florence, Kentucky. Evansville down to their last 6 offensive outs. They've got to find a way back into this game if they want a chance at hosting Tuesday night's wild card game. First pitch home, and J.R. Davis sends it right back up the middle for a leadoff single in the 6th. He did it so quick I couldn't even introduce you to the new pitcher on the mound. Kent Kleiman comes out of the right field pen for the Y'alls. The lefty is coming in as a BCS call to the bullpen. It's called the bullpen presented by our friends at Business Communication Solutions. Contact BCS for all your business solution needs. It's Kleiman on the mound. Edwards behind the plate. That pitcher catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-475-9000. Zach Bierman heads to the plate now with a man on first, nobody out. Here in the 6th inning, Otters trail by 6. First pitch home. Bierman off the handle of the bat. Sends it fouled back, and he's back 0-2 in the count. J.R. Davis led off with a first pitch single here in the 6th inning. And a called strike 3 on Zach Bierman will set him down with a strikeout. He's 0 for 3 on the day. And that will likely end Bierman's 17-game on-base streak. Brings up Elijah Mcnamee, the designated hitter today. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI double in the 1st and a strikeout in the 4th. First pitch home to Mcnamee is sent to the right side in the glove of Price. He goes to second for 1. The relay back to first is in time, and it's an inning-ending double play. We're on our way to the home half of the 6th. Evansville down by 6. Bottom of the 6th inning, another pitching change for Evansville. Zach Smith will get the nod out of the bullpen. his first non-start in a few weeks now, as he had been transferred into a starter for Evansville. Now it looks like they're going to ask him to put up a scoreless inning so that Evansville potentially could try to come back in their final inning of offensive work. So it is Zach Smith, the nod out of the bullpen. This call to the bullpen presented by our friends at Business Communication Solutions. Contact BCS for all your business solution needs. Smith on the mound, Tanksley behind the plate. The pitcher catcher battery sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road. A foul pop out to the right side. Bierman's underneath it and is able to bring it in for out number one quickly here in the sixth. So that will bring up Ray Zuber, the left fielder. He led off his game with a solo home run, was then robbed of an RBI hit from Gordon with a nice jumping catch into the center field wall, and then had a sac fly RBI his last time up. First pitch in is ball one to Ray Zuber. One ball, no strikes. It stays outside for ball two now. So 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch comes home. It's sent off towards Khalil at short. He's able to make a pretty easy, I want to call it a line out, but it's not really a line out as it didn't have much behind it. But it is good for out number 2 regardless of how the Otters got it. That'll bring up Ethan Stern, who is 1 for 3 with a single back in the first. Smith shakes off the first couple of offerings from his catcher, Tanksley. Now here comes the first pitch home. It's in for a called strike one. Whenever we get back to the Otters hitting half inning in the top of the 7th, it will be Craig Armstrong Khalil, at least right now, representing the last 3 hopes for the Otters. They would need 6 runs to keep the game going, 7 to take a lead. They have to win this game if they want to keep themselves in contention to host Tuesday night. One for Ethan Stern. Misses high and out for ball 2. Defense playing rather deep, just hoping they can grab a sure thing out. 2-1 home. Stays low and inside, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Stern reached on a single in the first. A couple of ground outs to short his last 2 up. The 2-1 to Stern. This one's grounded high to the left side. Charging in is Craig. He bare hands it. His throw's going to be late over to first. Possible if Craig doesn't play that ball, it might have gone foul. Hard to tell. So it's an infield single for Stern here with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Axel Johnson. So with a man on first and 2 outs, Johnson's going to have a chance to extend his 1 for 3 day. Pitch comes home for a swinging strike 1. Johnson reached on an error back in the first inning from Ryan O'Reilly, then reached on a single in the 5th. That led off the successful 5th inning for the Yalls. The 0-1 to Johnson. Swinging strike 2, way out in front of that one. So Johnson down to his last strike in the at-bat. Smith gets himself set, fires home on the 0-2. It's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Johnson. One, 2 home. Swinging strike 3. We're on our way to the 7th. Evansville needs 6 runs to keep this game going and to keep their hopes alive for a home game on Tuesday night. On to the top of the 7th inning. Evansville down to their last 3 outs in this ball game. Tanner Craig, Andy Armstrong, and George Khalil are the 3 due up. Tanner Craig will face a new pitcher on the mound as well. The righty, Evie Rubio, gets the nod out of the bullpen. First pitch is fouled off to the right side for Evie Rubio. This call of the bullpen is presented by our friends at Business Communication Solutions. Contact BCS for all your business solution needs. It's Ruibel on the mound. Edwards behind the plate. That pitcher-catcher battery is sponsored by The Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road. Give them a call at 812-475-9000. 0-1 to Craig, works way inside, nearly grabs him. And his count evens up. So with the count evened up at 1 ball, 1 strike, Evansville has lots of work to do still in this half inning. 1-1 home. High outside, ball 2. Two balls, one strike. Two, 1 home. A half swing. They say no, he did not go around, so the count's at 3-1 now. Tanner Craig waiting on a 3-1 offering. Pitch comes home, and it's skied high, fouled off behind home. We'll get out of play, and our count will go to full for Tanner Craig. Again, we are set for Game 2, which will take place about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this Game 1. It'll be a new stream here on YouTube on the Otters Digital Network, so keep an eye out for that. We'll take a quick break to get things reset, get lineups ready to go, and we'll have Game 2 coming at you as soon as we can. 3-2 home to Tanner Craig. Foul tipped into the glove, and it's good for out number 1. Now 7 strikeouts put together by this pitching staff of Florence. That'll bring up Andy Armstrong to the plate. Armstrong's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout to his name so far. Otters have 5 hits as a team. 1 from Davis, 1 from Mcnamee, 1 from Armstrong, 1 from Tanksley, and 1 from Rosario. First pitch is just a bit high and outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes for Armstrong. Pitch comes home and hits him. Works way inside. And the Otters have a man on here in the 7th. That will bring up George Khalil. With 1 man on, 1 man out here in the top of the 7th. Otters still have a lot of work to do. First pitch home. Works way inside on Khalil, and because of his height, he stays out of the way of that pitch. But it came in a hurry. The 1-0 home. This one sent out towards right. Tinney's chasing back towards the warning track, and that's where he brings it in for out number 2. 3 or 4 feet shy of the wall. Great contact from Khalil there. But it is out number 2, and Brody Tanksley will come to the plate representing the last chance for the Otters. Two outs, man at first. Pitch comes home. Tanksley takes it for a called strike 1. Got a rogue balloon hanging out on the third base side. As an 0-1 gets set to come home to Brody Tanksley. Swinging strike, gets way away from the catcher Edwards. And because of it, Armstrong will reach second. But now the Otters down to their last strike. So unless the Otters can find 6 runs here with 2 outs, they will be eliminated from home field contention for that wild card game. Which means they would head to Schaumburg Tuesday night for that one-game wild card playoff. If they could win that one game at Schaumburg, they would then host the Washington Wild Things Friday night in Game 1 of the Frontier League Divisional Series. The 0-2 to Brody Tanksley. Pitch comes home. Stays inside for ball 1. You can tell that there is some weather moving in our general direction. Doesn't look like we're going to get hit by the rain, but the temperature has dropped quite a bit. The 1-2 home. That's good for a called strike 3. And the Y'alls get this win. With it, the Otters will not host on Tuesday night now. They are surely the road team against Schaumburg. Looking like our Game 2 of the doubleheader should take place just before 4 o'clock, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went ahead and rounded it to 4 o'clock anyway. Keep an eye on the social medias, and we'll let you know there. A new stream will be popped up right about 5 minutes before game time, and we'll have it for you right here on the Otters Digital Network. Evansville drops Game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 2 comes at you shortly.